Hello, everybody. Goodness, it has been so long. It has been so long, a couple months since I've been on here. So I want to just start off by saying welcome back if you're viewing this, and that I've missed coming on here and talking to everybody. Life has gotten a bit crazy, but I feel like I'm starting to get grounded a bit, but that's why I'm here because we just experienced a new moon and solar eclipse energy on Friday the 13th, and then Saturday, October the 14th was the big energy days for the eclipse and the new moon. So I know that there's a lot of buzz about the eclipse and the eclipse energy, and I'm sure at any search you can find information on it. But what's coming through for me today hopefully will resonate with whomever found this video, and that there is a little bit of tidbits here of information that might help. So my guides have held, it's weird. It's almost like a sensation where I've been held underwater or like behind the veil for a little bit. And that can be really frustrating when we want answers or we want to be led into a space that feels comfortable and feels like it's easier for us to know what's coming or understand the energy around us. And all I can say is that there is such significant changes happening all around us in the collective and individually that it might be difficult for anyone to actually like zone in on exactly what's happening. But just understand on an energetic level, there's certain patterns that's going down right now. Pattern number one is that we are 100% being led into an energy that is breaking cycles or cutting ties with old paradigms or old systems or conditioning. Okay. So whether you're watching this and you're, 18 years old, or whether you're 80 years old, it doesn't matter, because when the time collectively is right to decondition ourselves or break the old cords or patterning, it's never too late. There's no time frame on it for when your individual soul has contracted to come in to do this. But just know that if you are here right now on this earth plane, your soul has a connection to this piece in evolution and the rays of consciousness. So this is what's uncomfortable though. Think about this. That saying of we don't do the things that's best for us. We do the things that we're used to, or that's natural, or that that's familiar to us. Right? So if right now the earth consciousness and our soul's motion forward is to cut old patterning and disconnect from these conditions and old paradigms for our own personal evolution and the evolution of humankind and Mother Earth, it's going to feel uncomfortable because we're going to be faced with these situations and we're going to feel differently about them. All of a sudden, we're going to be engaged in conversation with like family members or a group of friends that are like family, or work conditions that we're so used to being in. We're going to be faced with these maybe tough questions or situations that normally we'd be like, yes, XYZ, because that's part of our story. And so then we will say, yes, XYZ. And then literally when the words come out of our mouth, we feel a disalignment from that being truth. And then it's like that question, what does this mean about me if I actually don't believe in this anymore? If I actually don't follow this as being truth, does that mean that I'm not a great Christian? Does that mean that I'm a terrible daughter or horrible sister or son or father or whatever it is? No, none of that is true, because guess what? Your own story is your own reality. So if how you want to express yourself within your belief systems, be open to seeing that maybe something else might exist. And instead of it being a complete cut against who you are, maybe it's an addition to who you are. Maybe it's going to add on to your soul's purpose. Like your soul is pulling in another aspect of self in order to evolve. So all of a sudden you start thinking differently and perceiving differently. And then you might meet people who stretch your belief system a little bit, where it's like, no, I'm firm in my belief and this is what's truth for me, until you meet Joe Schmidt at work, who completely throws all of these belief systems out. And then you're like, well, what am I supposed to do with this? My whole world feels rocked. But know that it's not baby out with the bathwater, that everything that you learned is now gone and obliterated. It's like you have these additions to your consciousness so that you can add on to your personal and collective evolution, so that you can be confident that when you're walking forward in life, you're gaining wisdom along the way. And gaining wisdom helps you to be able to attract what it is that you really need, that is for the greater good and the greater good for yourself and everybody involved. And that you can take your experiences and the knowledge learned up until now as just that, as knowledge learned. And that it's okay to evolve. It's okay to change your perspective, because give yourself some compassion. You learned what you learned and formed your belief systems based upon a certain paradigm, based upon who was raising you, what country or city you were raised in, what religion perspective you were, what gender identity, what sexuality, like all of it is contributing factors. But here's the thing, all of those contributing factors are expanding and growing and evolving, that there is no stagnancy and there is no linear perspective. It's that we continue to grow and learn, and that is why you're here. So coming back to the eclipse energy is just doing that. It's breaking down a little bit of that Maya illusion of we are alone and it's XYZ and that is it. All of a sudden, some of these, veils are coming down and becoming a little bit more transparent, so that you can see what else is out there in order for you to grow. And so I think that you can take these energies, maybe write them down or sit in meditation or go for a walk and talk out loud or listen to music, whatever it does that spins your reels. But you can take a look at what it is that's actually aligning with you, and what's maybe some of those old stories and old paradigms that you can say, yeah, I'm ready to set that down. That by setting it down doesn't completely disconnect from who I am, because that's my belief system. But putting them down allows me to create some space in order to form new evolution within my own consciousness and the consciousness that's around me. And you can see people really fighting up against it. They're seeing change happen, and people are fighting against change, not because this is kind of a subconscious thing. They're fighting against change, not because change isn't happening, but the resistance is there because what does that mean about them then? What does that mean if they feel like they're losing control over their perceptions? Well, what does that say about me? Everything that I've known to be up until this point, if that's not true, then what the heck's the point? But it's going to continue to go. So do you want to walk forward with Earth's evolution, your soul's evolution, and that of the collective around you? Or do you want to resist it? Because it's going to happen. And the more that you resist it, the more pain that gets built up, because that is like saying to that aspect of yourself, no, be quiet longer. Quiet. Don't actually trust yourself. Don't actually trust your inner knowing. You got to go to somebody else's belief system because that's what you were taught. And if that's not true, then my whole perception of self is blown up. No, it's not black and white like that. And the thing is, again, it's happening. And that's this eclipse season, is that the veil's thinning so that we are able to be not confronted, because that's a bit of a strong word, but we're able to be able to be able. Okay, let's hold on a sec. The veils are thinning, allowing us to see truth within ourselves and within the collective. And the more that you resist it, the more difficult it becomes. It doesn't stop it, it just makes it more difficult. So I encourage you to maybe, even like, especially if it feels very confronting, right? Give yourself a sec, take a second, and stop trying to fight so hard to be heard or fight so hard against something. Even if you think you're fighting for the greater good, what's going to be more productive is allowing the energy to naturally manifest within yourself and those around you. And so that you are able to actually see the beauty that lies within everything that's evolving around you as well. Say less, listen more, be the observer of what's going on around you, and allow the things that are no longer aligning with your evolution to dissipate without resistance or judgment. Okay? So bring out your journal, see how this really is affected in your current day reality, and maybe like make little goals for yourself over the week to see how you can be confronted with old stories that no longer are yours. And you can say, hey, yeah, this is an old story. But just because I don't play off this old script doesn't mean that I don't know who I am. It actually means that you know who you are more. So, big message from Spirit, huge eclipse energy. But I really feel that it doesn't matter whether you want to, jump on board right away. We're all going in the same direction. So how do you want it to look? I hope this resonates with you. And if anybody has any questions or comments, please put it in the comments below. Share with people who you think this might really resonate. And then watch it again too, to see, because there's always tidbits that come through for different times that you need to resonate with. And I always watch them back too, because it's like a channel. It's like the information comes through me, and then I'll watch it back after and be like, oh, this is great stuff. This is awesome. So anyway, I hope that that this lands, and that my heart and my love and my dedication to the greater good is always in the forefront. So I hope that comes through. Till next time, love and light. Peace.